Namaste. Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. V. Premlata, working in the Department of Performing Arts at Sri Venkateshwara University, Tirupati. This is a module on the Trinity of South Indian music in the paper Indian Aesthetics and Fine Arts under the subject Indian Culture. In this module, we are going to deal with three eminent music composers, Shyama Shastri, Tyagaraja and Muthuswami Dikshita. They are together called as the Trinity of South Indian music. We will first look into a very short biographical sketch followed by their contribution. Shyama Shastri, Tyagaraja and Muthuswami Dikshita, they are called as the Trinity of South Indian classical music. They lived in the 18th and 19th centuries. All the three belong to the Tanjore district of Tamil Nadu. More specifically, they were all born in the Thiruvarur town. All of them have composed many compositions and they have given a full form to one of the musical forms of South Indian classical music, namely Kriti. It was during this period that classical music attained a great height and there were lot of innovations and lot of compositions being composed in different ragas, and we see that there has been a great development in the area of the classicism in the Carnatic classical music, and right, we can call this period as the golden era of classical music of South India. First, let us see about Shyama Shastri. Shyama Shastri was born in the year 1762 at Thiruvarur. His father was Vishwanatha Iyer and mother was Venkalakshmi. He was christened as Venkata Subramanya, but he was affectionately called as Shyama Krishna. He had his initial music training under a Brahman called Sangeeta Swami, and this person initiated and taught Shyama Shastri a lot of compositions and theoretical and practical aspects, including the Tala Prastara and other details, technical details of music. Later, Shyama Shastri was in close friendship with Pachimiriam Adiyappaya. This person, Pachimiriam Adiyappaya, is one of the great composers of Karnataka music who had composed the famous Varnam in the Raga Bhairavi. Shyama Shastri was a great Devi Upasaka. He sang many of his compositions, and we can say that almost all his compositions were on Devi. He has composed Geetam, Varnam, Swarajati and Kritis. We have looked into all these musical forms in a previous module, in the module on the musical forms and the salient features of Karnataka music. Shyama Shastri's compositions are mostly in Telugu and a few of them are in Sanskrita and a very few in Tamil. His compositions, as I told earlier, are in praise of the different forms of Shakti like Kamakshi, Meenakshi, Brihannayaki and so on. Mainly it was focused on Bangaru Kamakshi. He has used the mudra Shyama Krishna in all his compositions. As I told you, mudra is a term or a phrase that occurs in the musical compositions that gives the identity of the name of the composer. So Shyama Shastri has used Shyama Krishna in his compositions. Shyama Shastri has composed in many popular ragas like Bhairavi, Todi, Kalyani, Kamboji, Saveri. Ananda Bhairavi was his favorite one. He has also introduced a few new ragas like Chintamani, Kalkada. To say about his compositions, they are highly packed with rich raga bhava and sahitya bhava. As I told you, the Swarajatis composed by him are regarded as high and heavy pieces, and they are technically difficult and brings out the Raga Bhava in its full form. And these compositions express a high degree of emotional outpouring of a devotee, a bhakta. Especially in his composition, we can see the Vatsalya Bhava, that is, a child pleading for mercy to the mother. All his compositions are also considered to be slightly difficult in the melodic and rhythmic aspects. Thus, we can see that there is a clear interaction or a relationship between the melodic aspect, the tala aspect, the raga aspect, and the lyrical content. There is a clean blend of the three, and together they give a good essence of Karnataka music. The greatness of his compositions or the usage of very simple and appealing phrases as lyrics. I'll just show you a small example for this. We can see phrases like Napai Dayaleda, wherever unnaramma. Napai Dayaleda means, don't you have mercy on me? Wherever unnaru, who is there else? Who else can come and help me? Don't you speak to me? And these are the phrases which you can everywhere see in his compositions when he speaks to mother. Devi brova samayamide ati vegamevachi. He asks, you come so quick, please come soon and help me. In his compositions, we can see that there are a Pallavi, Anupallavi and Charana structured, and also a special feature called the Swara Sahitya, where after Pallavi and the Anupallavi, you will have a set of swaras to be sung, and a musical for this swara you will have a relevant and a kind of a text or a sahitya which is followed after the charana. This is called Swara Sahityam, which is a special feature in the compositions of Shyama Shastri. As I told you, the three Swarajatis are considered to be highly advanced pieces of art music. I shall just demonstrate you on Swarajati. These are in the ragas Bhairavi, Yadukla Kamboji and Todi. Kamakshi Amba Kanchika Makshi Amba Anudinamu maravagane ni pada muledi kanochunam miti ni shri kanchika makshi. This is the way it goes. You have so many charanas and the swaras are sung and then the sahityam is sung. This was a Swarajati in the raga Bhairavi. Shyama Shastri has composed a set of 9 songs on goddess Meenakshi of Madurai, and this is called as the Navaratna Malika. And out of these 9, the 7 are very popular, and some of them in this group are the Saroja Dalanetri in the raga Shankarabharana, Marivera Gati in the raga Ananda Bhairavi, Mayamma in the raga Ahiri, Nanubrova Lalita in the raga Lalita. I shall just show you a small piece from this. मायं मायनीने पिलचिते अम्ब मायं मायनीने पिलचिते माట్లాड राधा nato. You can see here that he asks, nato maatlada radha, won't you come and speak to me? You are my mother, why don't you come and help me? At the end you can also see in the same song, karuna judave kartyayani kalika bhavani parameshwari sundareshurani balambika maduravani ma. See, there is no very difficult text. You can see they are only the names of God. He is just calling, he is just addressing the Lord with different names. Karuna Judavamma, Kalika, Bhavani, Parameshwari, Balambika, these are all different names of God. Please look at me, show mercy on me. That's what he asks. So this is what I was telling you, that the text is so simple, but you can see the raga bhava, the way it moves, it gives a kind of weightage to that emotional aspect of this song. And this is the speciality of Shyama Shastri. Next, we will look into the second of the composers in the Trinity. He is Tyagaraja, the more and the most popular and very familiar personality of Karnataka classical music. Saint Tyagaraja was born in Tiruvarur in the year 1767. His father was Rama Brahma and mother was Sitamma. He learnt devotional songs initially from his mother at a very early age, like the Devarnamas of Purandaradasa. At a tender age, he was initiated into Ramataraka mantra by his father. Later it is said that Haridasa Swami, a great saint, preached him the Rama Shadakshari mantra and he asked him to recite Ramanama for 96 crores of times. And it is believed that Tyagaraja recited Ramanama for 3-4 years, and when he completed, he got the darshana of Lord Rama. He started singing, he was singing and he had composed. His first composition was Namo Namo Raghavayya in the raga Deshya Todi. He had his early lessons from Sonti Venkataramanayya. Tyagaraja was a gifted composer and he has composed hundreds of compositions in Samskrita and Telugu, and his mudra was Tyagaraja. Tyagaraja was a staunch devotee of Lord Rama and he had composed most of the songs in praise of Lord Rama. His language is also very simple and it seems that he is in conversation with the Lord. He used to speak to him in all, what kind of, as a friend, as a bhakta, as a devotee, as his servant and whatnot. And it is also said that once Narada had appeared in front of him and he has blessed him with 2 texts called the Swararnavam and Naradiyam, from which Tyagaraja had understood all the essence and the subtleties of classical art music, and he had incorporated everything in his compositions, the technical aspects. Tyagaraja has composed kritis, kirtanas and gayanatakas. Now, what is a kriti? Kriti is a kind of musical form which has got different sections like Pallavi, Anupallavi and Charana. There are also some special features like Sangati, Chittaswara, etc. added to these. The kritis form the main items in a classical concert today. And in the kritis of Tyagaraja, we find the Sangati an important aspect. We have so many Sangatis. Sangatis are graded increase or a kind of expansion of the melodic content in a given line. His compositions are filled with pure melodic and rhythmic intricacies, and they give scope for extensive improvisational skills of a performer. Shall we just listen to a small kriti of Tyagaraja? Marugelara, Marugelara, O Raghava, 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 Marugelara, O Raghava. Here, Marugelara, O Raghava is a given line. That's the Pallavi. But we found that this line got repeated for so many times, and there, can you identify a kind of change in each of the lines? O Raghava, O Raghava. These are called as the Sangatis, means the improvised or the graded extension of the melodic material. Tyagaraja has also composed kirtanas. They are much simpler forms than kritis. They also have a pallavi, but there are many charanas. And these charanas or the stanzas, the music material or the tunes, they get repeated, and most of them are sung in groups. They are mostly set in devotional themes and used for the worship of Lord. Tyagaraja has also composed Gaya Natakas, which are called musical plays. They consist of a main story and are composed of specific forms like the Daru, Dvipata, Vachana, Padya, that is the Sisa Padya, Kanda Padya, and others. The kritis of Tyagaraja are of different kinds. They are in ragas like Bhairavi, Kamboji, Karaharapriya, Todi, Kalyani, and so on. He has also introduced some rare ragas like Jayantashri, which I sang a little before now, Marugelara, Uma Bharanam, and so on. He has also composed some set of songs on a particular deity in a particular holy place or a place of a temple or a spiritual or a holy place. Like Kovur, he has gone to Kovur and he has sung the Kovur Pancharatna. One of the songs being Shambho Mahadeva in Pantuvarali. He is said to have visited Tirupati also, and there he has sung Taratiya Garada in the raga Gauli Pandu. So when they visit and when they go on pilgrimage to any of the centers of worship, they just compose songs on the deity, presiding deities of that place. The most important and very famous and noteworthy compositions of Tyagaraja is a set of kritis in 5 ragas popularly called as the Pancharatna kritis. These are in the ragas Natar, Gaula, Arabhi, Varali, and Shri. Together they are called as the Pancharatna kritis. They are very, very important, and they are little different in their structural organization when compared to other kritis. Like they are lengthier pieces, and they have a Pallavi, Anupallavi charana, and they have so many charanas in swaras. The swaras are sung first and then the sahitya is sung. I shall just sing a small clipping of a small item from one of these songs. Yendaro mahanubhavu lo yendaro mahanubhavu lo andariki vandanamu lo yendaro mahanubhavu. These 5 kritis, Jagadananda Karaka, Duduku Kala, Sadinchane, Kanakana Ruchira, Entaro Mahanubhavulu. They are sung together in occasions like the Aradhana festival or the Jayanti festival of Tyagaraja. We see that Tyagaraja's Aradhana festival, that is his death anniversary, is being organized and conducted mainly at his place where his samadhi is there in Thiruvayyaru in Tanjavur district, and thousands of people gather and they all sing these 5 songs together. It happens every year, and nowadays we see that this Aradhana festival is being organized throughout the world in US, UK, Cleveland, so many places, Africa, Australia. Many people, the community, Indian community living there, they join together and they conduct this festival, and our singers also go there and just they participate in the Aradhana festival, thus propagating our Indian culture worldwide. The Kirtanas, as I told you, of Tyagaraja are simple melodies and they are meant for worship. Some of them are the Utsava Sampradaya Kirtanas, like they include the songs that have to be sung during the different Utsavas of the Lord, like Melu Kolupu, Shobhana. Melu Kolupu is waking up the Lord. I can sing a small piece for you. Meluko Vaiyamam Meluko Rama. This is waking up the Lord. Then there are some lali songs, lullabies. Jo Jo Rama Anandagana Jo Jo Rama. These are all making him, putting him to sleep. These such kind of songs, they figure in the Utsavas or the Utsava Sampradayas. They are, even an illiterate can worship Lord by singing and listening and joining with the group in singing the names of gods. These are many very, very popular and famous in the Bhajana tradition. Regarding the Geya Natakas, he has composed Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam and Nauka Charitram. Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam is the story of Prahlada, his devotion to God. But Tyagaraja has little improvised, like there is no Hiranyavada, there is no Narsimhavatara. He wants peace, probably. So Tyagaraja has got his own storyline, but his hero is Prahlada and he wants to bring out his devotion to Lord Rama. So Prahlada as a devotee of Lord Rama, that's the way it is portrayed. Another story is the Nauka Charitram. Nauka means a boat where the arrogance or the garva of all the gopis are shattered by Lord Krishna, and this is an excellent story and which takes place as a boat ride of the gopis and Krishna along the Yamuna river. These consist of a very beautiful songs which are very famous in the concert traditions too. And the third of the trinity is Muthuswami Dikshita. He was born in the year 1775 in Tiruvarur. His father was Ramaswamy Dikshita, who was also a great music composer. Muthuswami Dikshita was a scholar of Samskrita, Jyotisha and philosophy. He got initiated into music from Chidambara Yogi, a sannyasin. It is said that Dikshita had gone to Banaras, Kasi, and stayed there for about 5 years, and his stay in North India has also influenced in his compositions that we see a kind of Drupad-like style of music and the ragas which are more closely oriented with the northern system. Dikshita has composed hundreds of compositions in Samskrita and very few in Manipravala. Manipravala is a kind of a mixture of more than 2 languages. His Sanskrit is very, very refined, and we see that they are all rich in all kind of prosodical beauties. An example for the Manipravala Kriti is Venkata Chalapate. Here you can see Venkata Chalapate Ninnu Nammiti Vegame Nannu Rakshiyu Maya. So Venkata Chalapate is in Sanskrit. Ninnu Nammiti Vegame Nannu, till then it is Telugu, and the rest Rakshiyu Maya is in Tamil. The whole song goes like that. There is a mixture of 3 languages coming together, but the melody is not disturbed. Dikshita's songs are filled with high bhava, and he follows the Vainika style packed with gamakas. The Vainika style refers to the kind of a musical style followed by Veena players. He has used the term Guru Guha in his compositions as his mudra. Among the Kritis, Dikshitar is seen to be a very noted personality for having composed Kritis on deities of many places. This reveals that he had visited many places and sung songs on the presiding deities. For example, he has got a special set of Panchalinga Sthala Kritis. These are all 5 Kritis on 5 lingas. The 5 lingas being portraying Prithvi, Vayu, Appu, Agni and Akasha, the 5 main elements of nature located in 5 holy places like Prithvi is in Kanchipuram, he has composed Chintayama in Bhairavi. Vayu is in Kalahasti. So there is Appu, water. That aspect is being portrayed in the Thiruvanekkaval. Thiruvannamalai is for fire, Agni, and Chittambaram is for Akasha. And that song Ananda Natana Prakasham in the raga Kedara. So these songs describe the linga, the concept of the 5 elements respectively in the compositions. Another main contribution of Muthuswami Dikshita are the Navavarna Kritis. Navavarna Kritis are a set of 9 songs including a Dhyana Kriti and a Mangala Kriti. That is at the beginning and at the end. Together they form 11 songs. These are all very important and they are based on the Sri Chakra according to the Sri Vidya form of Shakti worship. It is said that Navavarna Kritis are to be sung during the 9 days of Dashara or Navaratri. The famous and the most important among the Navavarna Kritis are the Kamalamba Navavarnam. I can just sing a small piece from that group. Kamalambasam Rakshatu Mam Shri. This is the first of the Navavarna Kritis. It is in the raga Ananda Bhairavi. And as I told you, there is a Dhyana Kriti which is in the raga Todi. And all the 9 songs are on Kamalamba and they are set in the 8 Vibhaktis or the case endings according to Sanskrit grammar. And the Mangala Kriti is in Sri Raga. Shri Kamalambike Shive Pahimam Lalite Shri Kamalambike Shive Pahimam Lalite Shripati Vinute Sita Site Shiva Sahite Shri. You can see that there is an important feature called the Madhyama Kala Sahityam which occurs profusely in his compositions. At the end of this song, Shakambari Satodari Chandrakala Shankari Shankara Guru Guha Bhaktava Shankar Ekakshari Bhuvaneshwari Isha Priya Kari Shri Kari Sukha Kari Shri Maha Tripura Sundari Shri. So it again contains different names of the Lord, and you can see these names occur in the Lalita Sahasranama and such other Sanskrit devotional poems. The Vibhakti Kritis are again set of Kritis set to the different cases or the declinations in the Sanskrit grammar. It is the Abhayamba group or the Guru Guha Kritis. They are all set to the same kind of Vibhaktis. Muthuswami Dikshitar has also visited many religious places and he has composed songs on the presiding deities, more famously called as the Kshetra Kritis. For example, we see when he had songs on Kasi Vishweshwara, it is Kasi Vishweshwaro. Then in Kanchipuram we have Ekamresha Nayike, at Tirunelveli Sri Kantimatim, at Madurai we have Meenakshi Memudam Dehi. I'll just sing a small piece. Ekamresha Nayike Shive Ekamresha Nayike Shive Shri Kamakshi Pahi Pahi Mam Ekamresha Nayike. See, this is on the Ekambranatha, Ekamresha Nayike, Kamakshi of Kanchipuram. Some of the compositions of Muthuswami Dikshita seem to be composed purposefully for performing and to be sung during specific pujas or the festivals of Hinduism. For example, we see Siddhi Vinayakam to be sung during Vinayaka Chaturthi. I'll just sing a small portion of it. Bhadrapada Masa Chaturtyam Brahmanadi Pujitam. There he says, the Bhadrapada Masa Chaturthi, all the Brahmanas, it's being worshipped, God is being worshipped. Siddhi Vinayakam Anisham. That is the song in the raga Shanmukha Priya, rather than called as Chamaram in his tradition. There is another one song which is called, two songs on Varalakshmi, Shri Varalakshmi Namastubhyam, Varalakshmi, another one song for the occasion of Varalakshmi Vratam, popularly performed during the Shravana Masa. Shri Varalakshmi Namastubhyam. This is the way it goes. There is another song in the raga Shubhabantuvarali, which is on Satyanarayana Swami. Satyanarayana Vrata or Satyanarayana Puja is more popularly celebrated or organized and conducted during the full moon day or the Paurnami. And there is a song which is meant for this occasion. Shri Satyanaranam Upasma He Nityam Satyananandamayam Sarvo Vishnumayam Shri Satyanarayanam. The other important contribution of Muthuswami Dikshita is his Navagraha Kritis. He had primarily composed 7 Kritis like called as the Vara Kritis. Then he had added the other to Rahu and Ketu. These are all 9 Kritis on the Navagrahas or the 9 planets. They are Surya Murte in Saurashtra, Chandram Bhajamanasa in Asaveri, Angarakam in Surati, and so on. They are on the 9 planets like the Surya, Chandra, Angaraka, Buddha, Guru or Brihaspati, Shukra, Shanishwara, Rahu and Ketu. It is said that singing these songs will relieve oneself from the doshas of some of the planets, and also it brings in good prosperity. And there is an anecdote that one of his students who had a problem with his health got cured, and because of which only he actually started composing these songs, and even today these songs are regarded as to have good curative values and spiritual values too. Now, having seen the contribution of these 3 people, Shyama Shastri, Tyagaraja and Muthuswami Dikshita. To put together, we see that they have composed different varieties of compositions. The Swarajatis, the Varnams, the Kritis were very simple, in very tough and very advanced, and some are shorter, some are very longer, and most of them though they are in praise of God, like God Vishnu or Lakshmi or Shiva or Rama or Shakti, Meenakshi, the Navagrahas. There are some special kritis like the Navagraha kritis, Navavarna kritis, the Pancharatna kritis. So all these are set in good classical ragas, and this is a period where we really, through these compositions, we got the real essence or the real content of the raga or the melodic aspects of our Karnataka music. So these compositions are rich treasure, and improvising these compositions and based on these compositions, the melodic pattern, we are now able to improvise and sing and propagate our Carnatic classical music. And the contribution of these three great masters are very, very high, and they have left us behind with a good tradition which have come down through their disciples and also through many versions, and they have also been very rightly and neatly documented in some of the manuscripts, and we also get a oral and a written tradition of these compositions. Hope that there is no doubt in describing them as the Trinity of South Indian classical music. Thank you.